A very warm welcome to you all students. Today our topic of discussion is lichens. We have briefly studied about what are lichens. Lichens are actually the symbiotic associations between algae and fungi. Now, I hope you must be aware of the word symbiotic association. Symbiotic association is a type of association between two organisms in which both of the organisms which are associated are mutually benefited. Okay, so symbiotic association of algae and fungi is said to be lichens. Symbiotic, if the association is symbiotic, that means some advantage algae will be providing to the fungi, and in return the fungi will be getting some the fungi will be giving some benefit to the algae. Now the algal component in this association of lichen is said to be phycobiont, and the fungal component is termed as mycobiont. Phycobiont is the algal component and the fungal component is mycobiont, which are autotrophic and heterotrophic respectively. That means the algal component, which is phycobiont, is autotrophic in nature, while the mycobiont or the fungal component is heterotrophic. Why is it so? You all know that algae belongs to the kingdom Plantae, and all the main characteristic of Plantae is they are having green color pigment chlorophyll, because of which they are capable of preparing their own food. Okay, so algal component is autotrophic in nature, but the mycobiont or the fungal component, you all know it's saprophytic in nature. It cannot prepare its own food, so it is heterotrophic in nature. Now algae prepare the food for the fungi because it is autotrophic in nature, and fungi provide shelter and absorb the mineral nutrients and water for its algal partner. Okay, so here we can see that both of them are mutually benefited. Algae is preparing food for the fungus, and in return the fungus is providing shelter. How it's providing shelter? You all have studied the structure of the fungal components. It's the profuse network of different hyphae, which is called mycelium. So mycelium provide a network or a net base for growing of the algae. So fungi not only provides shelter, but it also absorbs mineral nutrients and water for its partner. Because fungus are saprophytic in nature, so they have the capacity to draw or absorb the nutrient and water from the dead decaying environment. So here you can see both of them are mutually benefited. So close is their association that if one saw a lichen in nature, one would never imagine that they had two different organisms within them. Okay, so this association of lichen, you can see here in the picture, this green and purple color. So how closely they are associated with each other. We cannot make out that either they are different organisms, different things, or they are just one. So close is their association. They are so closely attached. Okay. Now the economic importance of lichens are that they are very good pollution indicators. That means those areas which are not polluted or which are lightly polluted, lichens will grow profusely in large amount. But those areas which are polluted, if lichens at all were present also, they will start decaying. Okay, so lichens are a good indication of pollution, that is, they do not grow in the polluted area. So if you are being asked about to write short notes about lichens, firstly you will write what is lichen, that is a symbiotic association between algae and fungi. Then you have to write that the components are phycobiont and mycobiont, then the benefits which each of them give to each other, and the economic importance of lichen is that they are very good indicators of pollution. Obviously land pollution, soil pollution. Okay. Now in the 5 kingdom classification, the 4th kingdom is the kingdom Plantae. Actually we have to study the kingdom Plantae in detail in the upcoming chapter. Here it is just summarized a little bit. So we all know that Plantae includes all the multicellular, eukaryotic, chlorophyll containing organisms which are commonly known as plants. A few members are partially heterotrophic in nature, such as the insectivorous plants or the parasites. Basically, almost every plant is green in color. It's having chlorophyll, which can be of any form. Okay, and they are all basically autotrophic in nature. But a very few of them, they are a little bit heterotrophic also. Like, for example, insectivorous plants, you all know, like pitcher plant or Venus flytrap plant or sundew. ठीक है, सो ऐसे प्लांट्स क्या होते हैं, इंसेक्टिवोरस होते हैं. दैट मीन्स दे जस्ट इनगल्फ और दे जस्ट डाइल्यूट और एब्जॉर्ब सम इंसेक्ट्स, वट एवर इंसेक्ट इज सिटिंग इन ऑन दैट, isn't it? So what is the purpose of eating that insect? It is not that they are becoming heterotrophic. It is because they are lacking in nitrogen content. So to fulfill the requirement of the nitrogen in them, they have to engulf insects. So overall, otherwise they are perfectly autotrophic, but just to compensate for the low quantity of nitrogen in them, they become insectivorous. Similarly, there are some plants which are parasites. Parasites means they grow on other plants. ठीक है, for example, cascuta, ठीक है, orchids. So what happens, such plants, if they grow on other plants, then they start drawing nutrition or water supply from them. Otherwise, they are perfectly autotrophic in nature. Now, the plant cells have an eukaryotic structure with prominent chloroplast and cell wall, which is mainly made up of cellulose. One thing more, we have studied that the cell wall of fungi was made up of chitin, CHITIN, and the cell wall of plantae is made up of cellulose. Now, plantae is further divided into 5 classes, that is algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms, depending upon the complexities and the presence of the vascular tissues. ठीक है, algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. So about all these we are going to study in the upcoming chapters. This was just a brief discussion. Next is the kingdom, 5th kingdom, which is the last kingdom, that is the kingdom Animalia. You all know very well about this kingdom, that is characterized by heterotrophic eukaryotic organisms that are multicellular and they lack cell wall. Okay, the very characteristic of the plant cell is that they lack cell wall. They directly or indirectly depend upon the plants for food. They can be herbivores, okay, they can be carnivores. They digest their food in an internal cavity and store the food reserves as glycogen or fat. ठीक है, all animals are having their own digestive system, their own mode of nutrition, their own physiology of nutrition, and the reserved food material in plant was starch, and in animal the reserved food material is glycogen, and most of them are capable of locomotion. In Animalia also there are so many classes and subclasses of animals which we will study in the upcoming chapters. So this was all 5 kingdom classification given by Whitaker. The very first was monorans, then protists, then fungi, then plantae, and finally Animalia.